All right, this is episode 6 on this Ls9 nightmare. Hang loose and we'll get into what we're going to do. All right, so the cam bearing is clean. The cam bearings is in it. The studs is in it. Andrew put the main bearings in it. We are using King XPs. It does have a forged crank, so we're putting hard bearings in it. We fixing to put I done measured the crank. We're gonna put the main caps on, get them torqued, and then we're gonna check all the main bearing clearance. So hang loose, and Andrew's gonna get all the main caps on, and we'll get that stuff torqued, and then we'll come back and we'll check all the main bearing clearance, see where we at. All right, so main bearings is in it, they torqued. And I measured all the mains on the crank, and they were all within a tenth or two. So I just averaged the diameter, and then I just set the bore mic. So hopefully we'll be all right. Sometimes these things is a little loose, but I hope we don't have that problem. So that's 2, dead on 2. That's dead on 2. Two and about 3/10. That's about 2 1/10. Yeah, get in there. And that's about 2 1/2, 2 6/10. So that back one's a little bit big, but it's fine. Let's see what it is. Sideways. Yep. So that's like 3 1/2. All right, so that's good. So what we'll do is we'll get the mains back off. This block has got squirters in it, so we'll get the caps back off. We'll go ahead and hey, we might just film it. Let's get the caps popped off, and then we'll get everything ready. We got to put the squirters in it, and we'll get everything set up, and then we'll come back and we'll get all that stuff in. All right, so we got a little problem. This thing's got the oil squirters, and a couple of them were damaged when we took it apart, and unfortunately I forgot to order them, so we can't put the crank in till we have the oil squirters. So the next thing that we can do is go ahead and get the ring gap done, and then we can get the rods and pistons loaded, and we can go ahead and check the rod bearing clearance and get all that out of the way. So we're going to take you in here where the ring grinder is, and I done went ahead and checked, and of course, you know, they're pretty much always zero gap. I mean, they're butted up on this file fit stuff for the most part. Because this thing is going to have a supercharger, we're going to go with 5 1/2 thousandths per inch of bore on the ring gap, which this is a 4 80 bore, and that comes out to like 22 1/2 thousandths. So we're going to do 22 on the top and probably do like 24 on the second ring. And come on with me, and we'll get started on the first one, and I'll walk you through that process. All right, so this is a total seal ring file, and it's relatively, it's got a setting here to get the ring end square with the grinding wheel, and it's got a little stop that puts you in the same place every time. So you just roll the ring up to the stop, tighten it up, pull the stop out of the way, and then the micrometer, and I'll show you. So, you know, you bring it up there and 0, it touches, so we can keep up with how much we're taking off. And generally speaking, on most quality rings, I mean, these are like, these are FTX from Diamond, or the GFX from Wiseco. They're all pretty much the same ring, just repackaged. So we know we 0, and we know we need 22 and 22-ish. So we'll go ahead and take 20 off the ring, and then we'll check it and then see where we at. Actually, this is the second ring, so we're gonna go 24 on the second ring. All right, so that's 20, and we will deburr them on the lapping wheel, because we don't want no burrs on the ring. All right, so let's go check and see what we got. Square it up with a piston. I'm gonna grab a feeler gauge. So that. Yep, so 20 is I mean, it's just right on it. So I'm going to suspect that it's going to be just perfect on 20. Yep, let me go back to my 20. Yeah, I mean, 20 is just, it's got drag. So we are at 20, so we'll pull 20, we'll pull 4 more off of this one, and then we should be able to take the rest of them and just pull 24 straight off of them. And again, some people get all broke down. A couple of thousandths either way is just not going to make any difference. I mean, some people, you know, act like ring gap is like bearing clearance, and it's just not. I mean, if it's not enough, it's a problem. If it's too much, it's kind of silly. But a thousandths or 2 or 3 extra, I mean, just nobody will ever know. But we try to put them, you know, dead on within a thousandths or 2. But you know, I ain't gonna get broke down about a thousandths one way or the other. It just don't matter. And there it is, 24 on the money. All right, so that's the winner. So we're gonna go pop all these 24, and then we'll come back and check the top ones, and then we'll get them sorted out. And I always like, these are Napier, they got a hook, so I always make sure that we down and we grinding away from the hook, because we don't want to chip the hook off. Because it's, I mean, I ain't saying it would, but it's, you don't want that burr rolled up. You wanna be going in the direction of the hook. And I just be easy with it. I don't want to put a bunch of heat in the ring, so you know, I don't try to just get it all at one time. Let's go check this one just for giggles. Yep. So, you know, they're pretty consistent. Generally, I find that most quality rings, you know, once you get it worked out on the first ring, the next 7 will be again within a couple of thousand. So that's why we can do it. You know, we can set up and just do them all at one time. All right, so now we're ready to do the top rings, and these are these are stainless, uh, which is good stuff for hot rods and power adders. So let's just go see if they're butted up like the other ones. Nope, they ain't quite as bad. Let's see what they got. Ain't quite got 5, so we're gonna take 15 off and see where we at. Cause we're shooting for that like 22. And these stainless are definitely harder to grind than the iron second ring. All right, let's see what that says. Yep, so that's 20. So, let me. Yeah, 22 won't go in there. So we'll take about 2 or 3 more. We'll take another 1 or 2. And there it is. So it took basically 24 to get there. All right. We'll probably do one more and check it just to verify, and then we'll grind them all. Yeah, and you can see they're made by NPR. NPR is really, they make a lot of OEM rings for Honda and Toyota and Ford and Chrysler. I think they do for GM also, but we use them a lot in a lot of stuff. Throw it on the floor. Yeah. So that one come out 23, which is fine. 22 and a half is what the number was. So the first one was 22 and that was 23. So we're gonna go with that and move on. All right, so we run into a little snag. The two of the squirters were stripped out. The piston squirters, oilers, were stripped out in this thing, and I forgot about it. And so we can't put the crank in till we got the squirters in, and so we had to expedite some squirters in here. So we hope tomorrow the squirters will be in, and we can get the squirters in, and then we can go ahead and get the rods and the rotating assembly in the block. I still got to grind the cam for it, so we was just too busy. I didn't have time to film it, but I got the valve job touched up on the heads, and we got one of them in the surfacer. So I'm gonna show you that, and then we're gonna get the head surfaced, and then I think we'll just call that this episode, and then we'll do the valves and assemble the heads on the next episode, and then hopefully tomorrow the squirters will be in here, and yeah, and then we can try to get this bottom end together. So come over here and let's look at the. So these are some PRC heads. They look really good. The valve job looked real good. All we done is just touched up to 45. Everything was fine. We're gonna surface them, and we're gonna check all the spray. It looks like it's got packed springs on it. I'm gonna check all the spring pressures and all that jazz. But just visually, it looks okay. So we blasted them and got them all clean and all that jazz. But they look pretty good. So we got one over here in the surfacer. We done indicated it in, and I'm gonna let's see, where's the dicom at? We'll put a little dicom on it just so we can see what it. I mean, I can't say whether it's gonna be a. Yeah, it's funny, we've been so busy with cams and blocks. This first time we turned the head servicer on in what, 3 weeks? No, we done that, what was that little, it was about 2 weeks ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago, we done that little Volkswagen head. Well, maybe it has been a month. Time flies when you're having fun. Yeah, that wasn't the 6,000ths. Let's we'll check the surface finish and just see what it is. I mean, I'm sure it's fine, but we're gonna check it anyway. Yep, I think that'll do. So, all right, let me cut this off. So we're gonna call that, whatever episode this is, I don't remember now, but we'll get this other head surfaced and then tomorrow we'll start setting them up, checking spring heights and all that. And like I say, hopefully we'll have the pieces we need to get the short block together. But I hope you're gonna see enough episodes this week that this thing is gonna be done or so close to done. It ain't funny this week is my plan, and then we're gonna get to move on to some other stuff. But all right, thank you for watching. Check out the website if you need anything, powellmachininc.com. We'll see you on the next one.